I must also add here, though, that I think it's important that people not only study, but also reflect. I think you've been having periods for reflection on this retreat. I think this is quite a good idea, because reflection means, as it were, well, intellectual digestion and spiritual assimilation. One needs to do that too. It's not enough just to read. You have to really think seriously about the meaning and the implications of what you've read. There are traditional terms for these things. The Suttamaya Panya, the knowledge or understanding that comes from hearing or reading. Then the Chintamaya Panya, the knowledge or understanding which comes from reflection. And then there's Bhavanamaya Prajna, or Panya, the knowledge or understanding of an insight, which comes from personal experience, especially as connected with meditation. And I think in the movement as a whole, even in the order, I think we are rather deficient in reflection. Well, we're deficient in almost everything, but that's another matter. There's not enough study, but having done the study, one needs to reflect quite a lot on the material that one has studied, or perhaps discuss it with other people. Dhammaloka mentioned the 5 spiritual faculties. Well, first of all, you learn what they are. You know that you learn that they are wisdom, faith, meditation, vigor, and mindfulness. So you turn them over in your mind. Well, what is faith? What does this mean? Is it faith in the Christian sense, or is it faith in some other sense? Is it the same as belief? What does faith mean in Buddhism? How is faith connected with wisdom? What's the relationship between the two? Are they in conflict, or are they different aspects of the same thing? How does one develop faith? Why is faith so important? Why is it included in these 5 spiritual faculties? Do you see what I mean? You go on turning it over in your mind, trying to understand the meaning of that particular term, trying to see its place in the spiritual life, trying to see its connections and relationships with other terms, other teachings, other doctrines, with the spiritual life as a whole. You perhaps examine your own practice of it, try and understand whether you're deficient in it, whether there's enough of it in your own life. You turn it over, you turn the whole topic over in your mind in this sort of way, at the same time trying to penetrate more deeply into its actual meaning.
Do you view this as a formal practice, where you would take time to say, now I'm going to reflect on this?
If you don't take naturally to reflection, if it doesn't just happen as it were naturally, well, you may well need to set aside specific periods for reflection, just as you do for meditation or puja. Some people don't find it difficult to reflect, but others find it difficult, or even to be clear as to what is meant by reflection and how one reflects. Perhaps sometimes a bit of guidance is needed. But I think it's important that reflection should be quite, in a way, spontaneous and quite creative. It shouldn't be a question of just trying to learn things by heart, trying to develop some understanding of one's own, maybe trying to see connections which nobody's seen before. Not trying self-consciously to make an original contribution, but just trying to understand for yourself. I think if one gets into the habit of reflection, one can find it very enjoyable and worthwhile, and in its own way quite creative. Especially when you begin to see how one teaching links up with another, how they all link up together. They form in a way a sort of system, that they're all compatible, they're all in harmony. It's not just this isolated teaching and that isolated teaching with no real connection between them.